what it was like to be the burden. Hey, I know you guys haven't heard from me in a while. That's because of school and other things. Well, those other things were rather drastic. I'll just get straight to the point and say that depression hit me so hard in the face that I metaphorically barely had a skull left. You might have heard my friend's story in painting about her depression with so I'll be giving you my own story. The story of the one who caused all of this despair of self-hatred among others. I'll tell you, making the people that you love and that you hang around feel as if they are worthless to themselves, it hurts. It hurts to know that you were the one who caused it. It hurts to me so much that the people I cherish were hurt so badly by me that I started to question if I was even human, if I was a monster. I take it that my depression from earlier stages of life leached onto the others and started what was hell for them. Unlike them, in the time that they all started showing signs of depression, I started to feel happy and ecstatic. Nothing could pull me down. I had finally escaped. I was finally free. Was I? Not even close. Seeing that I caused this made another onslaught of self-loathing and self-hatred overcome me. I saw myself as a monster. I saw my family as superiors who I was born only to please them. I saw everyone else as righteous and who deserved to be happy. I didn't deserve it. I had done bad to so many others without even noticing it for a whole month. I guess I'll go from where it started. I was in 4th grade. I know. Insane. A 4th grader suffering from depression. It was doubtful, but it was true. I had been bullied for my appearance. Shortly, everyone in school who I knew didn't want to be near me. They didn't want to know that I was there. The only person I had at the time was my best friend. He's moved schools now, but it was helpful to have him around. Rumors spread around about me. People gave me spiteful looks. They mocked my appearance, called me names. It was a young generation all out of hand forced on this one person. Me. 5th grade came around. My best friend had moved and I was left alone. I sat alone at recess. I sat alone at lunch. Although it was physically, I knew I was still an outcast. Another bully made his way to the stage. He took my pencils and ran around the class, told me to shut up, so I just surrendered. I took his playful manner as bullying. Yes, that's how I'd gotten used to people. Anything anyone did to me, or towards me, was considered a threat or bullying. I was left to be a laughing stock at such a young age because I started to believe people. I never told my teachers anything when they would come up to me at recess and ask what's wrong. Why aren't you out playing with the others? I remember that one day. No one wants to play with me. I had grown up in such quick seconds, it was considered weird. We'll just go join someone, like the boys over there. She pointed to a group of guys playing tag. I was an obedient kid. I did what I was told. So I made my way over and started to play. That was until I was knocked over onto the pavement. My palms were scraped to tiny lines of blood. Dude, go away, you're not even playing with us. And I did just that. I walked back to the spot I had sat alone and I watched, just like I had for days before that and even weeks after that. I wasn't no one to them. Then another friend had shown up. She proclaimed herself as my friend because, well, her reason was because I seemed lonely and that I'm not playing with anyone. I looked up to her in belief of what on earth she was saying. Finally, had I been given a friend I could play with? I didn't believe it at first. I was waiting for the first week or so when she would shove me over, call me names, and run away. But that moment never came. We quickly became friends. What else was I to do? No one else was nice to me. So I took what I had. This is the moment I regret. Right here. I was still being bullied, even in front of her. I'm sure she didn't understand at first, but she quickly caught on, and learned quickly. Again. She asked me how I was most of the times, and I've always give really very glum responses. What's the point? Why bother? They're right. Don't do anything. A few fragments I remember telling her, even now. She started to behave like me. Like the outcast. Like no one liked her either. And before I knew it, she was getting bullied for her size. For appearance. I found myself guilty. I didn't want her to be my friend anymore. I tried to push her away so she wouldn't get hurt anymore. The life I had lived was not a good one to live. And the one person I cared about at the time was starting to become like me. I couldn't let that happen. 6th grade. She didn't let up. She never left me alone. She just endured the pain like me. And I felt bad for her. Why was she willing just to go through with all of this? I wasn't worth the time, the effort, the person. She told me I was wrong. I didn't believe it at first, but eventually, I had to. 7th grade. I started feeling better, bit by bit. I made another friend, and another. I now have 3 friends. All girls, strangely. I guess guys don't have time to boost each other up, and only see competition. 8th grade. It was happening to my new friends, too. I started pushing everyone away except my very best friend, the one from 5th grade. I wanted to keep everyone away. I was a safety hazard to others. Should have slapped a label card on myself to let people know if they are to be my friend, it'll only hurt them. But I couldn't keep everyone away. Everyone was being stubborn and forcing their way back in. And what did I do? I fought it for a good while, but I stopped. And just as they really wanted to do this to themselves, I shouldn't stop them. I felt like someone who would teach another to internally bully themselves while being bullied. 9th grade. Everything settled down. Just a bit. I was back to the depressing state I was in the 5th grade. I came to realize that I was only one at fault for anything. If anyone was in trouble, then I'd try to convince them I did it, so I'd be the one to blame. I didn't care about myself anymore. It was only about everyone else. That Halloween came around, and I was found in my room, a stool under a hook. You can already assume what I was going to do, but my mom walked in before I even got the rope, and she said she was sorry I couldn't go out for that night. I fell into panic. I wasn't worth anything, and now I had my own mother telling me she's sorry for something she wasn't responsible for. I cried so hard and so loud that night, I wouldn't be surprised if the cops came to my house. I wouldn't be surprised if the police came to my house. The end of the year came, and stuff was back to bland. I decided I shouldn't try anything. Just sit there, do the work, exist. At least act happy, which is what I did. I'll tell you a story about in 9th grade when me and my friend were caught trying to do a pact. Me and her were both, very advocate. Depression. We had made a pact to shoot each other in the head, end it all if we had to. It was a really foolish plan, one that wasn't able to go through because we were caught discussing it while we were in class going to the bathroom. The entire class went to the bathroom, together. The teacher had managed to catch on to what we were saying, and she reported it to the counselor at the time, which was she would know. Neither of us liked this counselor at the time. She only really admitted people to Region 8 or psychiatric institutes. Then, when it came time for both me and my friend to have to temporarily be away from school for a day. We both went to read a night. On that day, at read a night, I had to lie. I sat there in front of a therapist and just lied my life away. Because I wasn't about to go into a psychiatric place that I don't need to be, because it would only negatively affect me even more. I think I've grown out of that now. But I remember that she didn't lie. She told them all about herself, and then that caused her to be stuck in this loop of going back and seeing them, and other meetings and appointments, until eventually her father decided that it wasn't worth it. I mean, in her mind, and in mine, it sure wasn't worth it. Who are we to be, classified as children and to be told that this thing is happening and now you need to go somewhere that you don't want to be because you're not considered normal. Moving on with the story. And here we go to the end. Now, I'm in 10th grade. I only have one very depressed friend, the one I met in 5th grade, the one we just discussed. And I still to this day feel terrible that I was the reason her mind was open to all of this self-hate. She doesn't like herself anymore, and when everyone else likes her, our mutual friends all love each other and show so much support. And I'm glad to say that I somehow built that foundation. I'm glad that she has a boyfriend that she can now rely on, at least for a little bit until he goes somewhere. Then she throws into a panic and I have to cheer her up again. It may not be the best job, but at least it's a job that I can get used to, and one that I'm not having trouble with doing. One that I don't really mind, considering it's my best friend. I don't believe I suffer from depression anymore, but the other half of me believes I suffer from manic depression. I'm conflicted on what to believe or how to feel anymore, that I'm just really confused and mostly jumpy. I get my work done, but I do it with content. I don't feel myself as a robot anymore, and I could even read out depressive outbursts that I've written down within the year. But those are a bit personal. I'd like to thank you for listening, whoever, and remember that there is much more to life than what happened to me. You can be so much better and choose the right path to take how others' words affects you, or how others' treatment affects you, clearly. And I hope to everything alive that you are. And that was my story of being the burden. Thank you for listening.
Hi guys, we're back to the review. Today, okay, great. We're gonna start on the bottom. This is very loosely known.
Do it, man.
We got adduction, then abduction. Oh God, I said it wrong. Abduction and then adduction.
Go to the next one. Do your.
We got flexion, then extension. We got dorsiflexion, then plantarflexion. And we got inversion, which is inward. And then we got external, which is outward. Ow!
Don't jump down.
All right. Then we got circumduction. We got medial and lateral rotation. We got suspension and pronation. And retraction and retraction. Then we got elevation and depression. And that's all the bottom.